So we'll go ahead and get started. All right. So our first up on the list is going to be our food signs. What I'm going to try to do, because we're trying to do food and animals, and that is a lot of signs. I'm going to warn you guys now, this is going to be a very content heavy class, okay? What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to go through them a little bit. I know we go through them fast as is anyways, but I'm gonna try to go a little bit faster, and I might pick a few not to sign immediately, like save, and then after we finish, we'll come back and see if we can kind of go through those. Okay. I'm gonna pick like more of like the basic ones, and then afterwards, if we have time, leave it open for you guys to ask for specific. Okay. So the first sign we're gonna do is the sign for food. So the sign for food is kind of like a flat O. Wait, let me pin myself. I always forget about this. And you're gonna make the motion. There we go. You're gonna make the motion of eating. So you're just gonna put in your mouth. Food, food, food. And you want to make sure you at least double tap this. You can tap it 2 times, 3 times, however many, but as long as it's more than 1. Food, food, food. Okay, so the next sign we're going to do is the sign for eat. And this one is the exact same sign as food, except you do it 1 time. Eat. So food is 2 times, eat is 1. The way I remember is that when you eat, you don't take a bite and then pull it, like you don't like put it in your mouth and pull it back out. It's like it goes in once, it's done. If that makes sense. That is, I know, probably a weird like what, but I'm like, that's how I think about it. It's like you eat it, you put it in your mouth, done. You're not gonna keep doing this playing games with it. So, and you'll also notice, I think next week when we do more of all of our different signs, that is something that's kind of common when it's talking about the noun. Oh, I did not spell it right. Noun versus like a verb. You do kind of like that similar thing. So like the noun itself is like just tapping a few times, whereas the verb is once, like an action motion. So our next sign is going to be the sign for fruit. So the sign for fruit is you're going to have an F, and you're going to put the corner of your mouth like this. It's not like you're pinching, but it looks like it. And you're going to go fruit, 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 fruit. Okay. So to do just a few different, like kind of more generic fruits that we have that are most common. The first one I have is apple. So apple's going to have an X, and you're going to put it in the same spot we did fruit, and you're going to go apple. Apple. Now, if you were going to talk about the color, like a green apple, red apple, that's when you just add the red apple or a green apple. Excuse me, guys. The next is orange. So orange, I think we've sent the color videos already. And so the nice thing about this is the color, the word, I knew I was not going to get this. The sign for the word orange as in the fruit is the exact same sign as the sign for orange, the color. Orange, 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 orange. Then we have strawberry. Strawberry is going to be a thumbs up, and you're going to put the pad of your thumb on your chin. Strawberry, strawberry, strawberry. Okay. Our next one is going to be grapes. So for grapes, you're going to have your non-dominant hand kind of like this, and your dominant is going to be this kind of really open 5, bent fingers, and you're going to pat on the back of your hand like this, grapes. And the reason for this is that some people do it also this way. You can do it this way. I was going to say, it does not matter if you do it back this way or this way, either one works. And this is basically talking about like a bunch of grapes. They're all like, these are the vines, and the grapes that you're tapping the grapes themselves, like they're all connected on the vines. That's like the visual model of it. Some people do grapes this way. I do it this way. And then others will do it the other way. Grapes this way. Both I've seen. Excuse me, goodness. The next one we have is banana. For banana, you're going to have your non-dominant hand and a pointer finger. You can also just not have one. I've seen some people do it this way. I do a pointer finger. That's just to me to help clarify. You're going to make the motion of peeling a banana. but I have seen some people just holding and then making the motion itself. I like to have the pointer finger only because that way it shows that you're talking about a banana. That's just me though. Okay, let's do two more, then we'll go back through those, okay? The next one I have is peach. So peach is going to be peach. It's like you're touching the peach fuzz. That's the like connection, is that it's like peach fuzz. Peach. Then we have lemon. Excuse me. Lemon is going to be an L with the pointer, but not the pointer finger, the thumb in the corner mouth, and you're going to go lemon. 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 So it's just bouncing that pointer finger down. Lemon. Lemon. Okay. I know we went through those fast. Let's go back. So we had food, which was food. 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 Eat. 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 Fruit. 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 Apple. Then apple. Orange. 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 Strawberry. Strawberry. What's really helpful is that I have my nails painted, so you guys can see where my thumb is placed right now. When I don't, it is very easy to get confusing, and I typically always, there's another sign that's very similar that I always bring up, and so this one's always like, I feel like everyone's doing this little like, which way do I put my thumb game? So right now y'all get to have the easy way because of my finger. Grapes. Grapes or grapes. Banana. Banana. Peach. Peach. And then lemon. 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 So you put it at the corner of your mouth again, kind of like where we did the fruit. Not kind of. We did do that. Fruit. A lemon. Whew. Okay. Now let's move on to our vegetables, okay? So the sign for vegetable is going to be a V, and you're going to go vegetable. 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 Then we have corn. There are two ways you can do corn. They're both very similar. The first one is, well, kind of similar. The first one is going to start, I'm going to do it first, actually, because it's hard to describe. Corn. 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 So it's like you have your hand this way and you're twisting like you're eating the cob. Corn. Corn. The other one is corn. Corn. Like you're holding the corn cob. Yeah. So this one, I used to, and it's funny, some classes, if you go back and see the old videos, I'll be like, I do this one, blah, blah, blah. But now I kind of changed my ways, or I'd only do this one. So this one I see a lot more often, but that one can be a little bit easy to get confused because it also looks like brushing your teeth. So I always try to do corn sometimes, but I am catching myself doing this one more now. It's almost like dialects or like slang. Like, you don't always say like y'all or things like that. And then you slowly kind of catch yourself doing it. It's the same way in ASL. Okay. The next one we have is potato. So potato is going to have your non-dominant in a fist. You're going to have your dominant in that V that's bent. And then you're going to tap. Potato. Potato. Now, the cool thing with this is that's also the sign for chips, like potato chips. Most of the time, you don't always have to worry too much about if you're talking about actual potatoes versus actual chips, because kind of like the context of what you're talking about typically helps to clarify what you're talking about. Like, it's kind of most of the time, at least for me, most of the time, if you're talking about having a hamburger, or a hot dog, you have French fries and chips, that kind of thing. If you are more concerned about them not understanding you mean like mashed potatoes, things like that, you can always add the sign for mashed, which I think is, I was checking to see my list. I don't think we actually have it. Mashed is like mash. It's like you're smushing it. Mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes. So you can always do that to emphasize. Now, if you're talking about you have just regular potatoes, like little dots of potatoes, I would just kind of try to like, I would finger spell like potatoes then. Just fingers to get that point. Potatoes, potatoes. That way to emphasize. But most of the time I've noticed it's not really too problematic with that. And if you just feel like you don't want it, you're talking about it's being chips and not potatoes, you can always finger spell chips as well. That's always kind of a helper support if need be. Okay. Oh, the next thing is French fries. So French fries is going to be an F, and you go French fries. Like you're dipping it in sauce. French fries. French fries. This was one of the ones I immediately was like, I'm never forgetting this one because if all else fails, I need my French fries. French fries. Okay. The next one we have, so we're going to do sweet potato. And I wanted to add this because the way it's listed, I'm sure I was like, what? We just jumped. So for sweet potato, you do the sign for sweet and then the sign for potato. So the sign for sweet is sweet, 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 sweet. So sweet potato would be sweet potato, sweet potato, sweet potato. What's also nice about this sweet is that actually can travel over to talk about if someone is sweet, like you're sweet, that kind of thing. Sometimes, like, like when we talk about run, the word run can change depending on the meaning. Sweet is one that does consistently stay. So if you're talking about, oh, she's just so sweet, that was very sweet of you. This candy is very sweet. They all still use sweet. Okay. Let's do two more vegetables and then we'll review those. Okay. The next one we have is cabbage slash lettuce. They're kind of used the same that I've seen. If you really wanted to emphasize there's a difference, that's when I would add that finger spelling in to clarify. But if you're just like kind of like me, like, it's okay, they're both the same, like they're both green, leafy greens. You can just go ahead with this. So the sign is going to be your dominant hand is kind of in this weird bent back. The base of your palm is going to tap you on the side of your head. Do not hit yourself hard. We are not beating ourselves over here. We are just trying to show like, it's like the head of lettuce, like when you peel it open. That's the visual. But I cannot tell you how many times I have had a student who didn't realize how hard they were being, and they just popped themselves and they're like, ow. And I'm like, you did that to yourself. Let's be careful when we talk about lettuce. So cabbage and lettuce. I have seen, not often, I've seen like once or twice. Some people will do an L for lettuce and do lettuce. I don't recommend that only because that can look more like a name sign or anything like that. I do see more generally this one. But just in case, on the off chance you do see someone who does this and then they're talking about food, they may be talking about lettuce. Okay. All right. Our last one is going to be pickle. Okay. So pickle, if you guys remember from when we did, I think Halloween and we did the sign for candy, it's very similar. Okay. So you're going to make the P and your middle finger is going to come in the corner of your mouth and you're going to go pickle, pickle. So it's similar like how we did our bouncing of the finger or the candy, but it's with the P or I guess a K really. Pickle, pickle. Okay, let's go back through our vegetables. Oh, I skipped one. Well, it's not a vegetable, it's a fruit, but I skipped. It was tomato. Let me add that one real quick here. So tomato is one of those random ones that actually doesn't have its own sign. It's two signs put together. Which I know some people, if you love tomatoes, could be like, that's insulting. I'm not a big fan of tomatoes, so I was like, you know what, serves you right. So for tomatoes, the sign
It's
is
insulting.
See, I was gonna say, I remember, and I was like, Miss Katie, I think it's really mad about how that tomatoes does not get its own like little sign. And I'm just like, eh. So the sign for tomatoes is gonna be the word, basically it's the signs for red and slice, and they come together. Okay, so it's red slices, basically. That's it. So it's red, and then to do the slicing, it's like you have a flat hand puppet and you bounce your finger like the knife. Slice. So red slice. And that's tomato. I mean, I could see why that would be very insulting. I'm just like, I don't really ask for tomatoes anyways on things. I'm not a tomato girl, so I'm like, I don't need it. So, okay, now let's go back through. So we had vegetable, which is the V. It's very similar to the fruit. It's just a V now. Vegetable. Then we had corn, 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 or corn. Either one really works, whichever one works for you. Then we had our potato. So potato, potato, potato. And then we had our mashed potatoes, which I added here randomly, not randomly, but mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes. Then we had our French fries. French fries. Then our sweet potato. Then we had our cabbage / lettuce. And then our pickle. So it's the middle finger, and then you have it right. You make that K. I cannot explain it. Make the K shape. Put the middle finger on the corner of your mouth and go back and forth. Pickle. And then our tomato. Red. Slice. Okay. So now we're going to actually do a little bit of description words for foods. Okay. That cannot talk. So the first one we're going to do is the sign for sour / tart. And this one is the same sign as candy. Sour, tart. So how I separate the two, basically, when I'm trying to talk about like something is sour versus something being candy, a lot of context clues does come into play again. Like I'm telling you guys, you may think, oh, she just keeps saying context clues. I promise you, it really does. Like you see the sign and you practice, you're like, oh, wait a minute, because it makes sense. But if I was really talking about something being like sour, like that candy is sour, I typically make a really pursed lips face with the sour, like, ooh. Like I imagine taking a bite of something really, really sour and go, ooh, sour. That's how I do it. I'm a very visual person. That's how, like, for me, that's just natural to just be like, ooh, that was sour. And then with candy, I kind of have more of a smile with it because candy is always sweet. Well, most of the time, unless you have sour candy. If you have sour candy, I would do candy, sour, like add that afterwards, if that makes sense. Okay. The next one is spicy. So for spicy, what you're going to do is you're going to, well, I'm going to sign it first. It's spicy. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm wiggling my fingers back and forth from my mouth. Spicy. Okay. And that is just to basically, it's almost like doing the flames. They can be, yes. More ASL wise, yes. Because like, and if y'all did not see Emily's question, she was asking if adjectives kind of come after the noun, like in Spanish. Yes. Now that being said, though, if you were to say red ball instead of ball red, it's not going to be like the end of the world, and they're not going to have any idea what you mean. Because it does that sometimes with ASL. It does kind of go back and forth. And the reason I say that is because there are more people who learned it through with English that apply it versus just not natural ASL. If you were talking to someone who's got generation, deaf parents, deaf grandparents, so ASL is like that is their first language and they've had complete access, they will most likely do ball red versus that red ball. But that's not the case for everybody. So you can't, they do flip it sometimes. So, and the only reason I say that is just, I don't want you to ever be like, I said red ball instead of ball red, anything. Like, do not get too upset. If it's a big deal, they will tell you. Deaf people are very blunt. Okay. They are not shy about anything, which is good. You really need that. And so it's never like to be insulting. It's just to clarify things, but yes. Adjectives typically do go after the noun. Okay, so we had our spicy. I always want to do dragon. That's not right. It's this. If you notice, a dragon's the same thing. It's just the back of your hand, like the flames are coming out of your mouth. versus spice like coming into your mouth, like the flames are coming into your mouth. Okay. So spicy. Then we have cold. So cold is going to be cold. Cold. It's like it tense up your shoulders and like think about when you go outside and it's shivering and you go, whoo, it's basically that. Cold. Cold. That is also for talking about if you are cold. Like I'm cold outside. That is also for like can be like refrigerator. Anything that's kind of cool is this motion, cold. Excuse me. Now, with that, sometimes people will also add the sign for frozen, like their food is cold, like it's frozen. And then frozen is going to be 2 5s and you bend your fingers back. Froze, like you bring them towards you. Froze. Froze. So a lot of times we'll be like, oh, this food, it's frozen. Like that food is frozen. That kind of thing. So frozen. Ooh. All right. Our next one is going to be the sign for hot. And so this one, I do recommend if you're talking about it being spicy hot, doing the spicy rather than just the sign for hot. Because this one would talk about more like if it was just really, really hot, not like spicy ways, spicy food. Goodness. So hot is going to be an open bent 5. You're going to have it in front of your mouth and go hot, hot, hot. It's like you're bringing it and putting it down. Hot, hot. That is another one that can also be talking about like I'm hot, like it's hot outside, it's hot here, hot. Which is nice that those kind of go the same. Hot, hot. Okay, let's go back through those and then we're gonna go into more like entree foods, okay? So we had sour / tart, sour. I told you I pursed my lips. The thought of sour just always makes me go, whoop. Sour. Then we had spicy, spicy. Spicy. We had cold, cold, cold. And then on top of that, we had frozen, frozen, frozen. You are totally fine. Frozen. Then we had hot, hot, hot. Another one with the frozen is I like to say, like, that's how I say, like, if I'm cold, like I'm freezing, I will go like, I'm freezing that as well. That is a fun one. I like to be silly sometimes, and I will tell the kids like I'm going to become a popsicle because of how freezing I am. They always think that's funny because they're like, "You're not a popsicle, you're not ice cream." I'm like, "Yes, I will. I'm so cold." Okay, let's now do some entrees. Okay, so the first one we have is going to be pizza. Okay. So for pizza, there are 2 different signs I see. The first one is going to be pizza. Pizza, it's like you're holding a slice. It's a very awkward one to try to describe. I mean, it's like I'm holding a slice of pizza and I'm bringing it to my mouth. Pizza. Pizza. This is the most common one I see for pizza. Pizza. The other one is going to be, you're going to do it 2, bend your fingers, and then make the Z motion. Z. Pizza. Interestingly enough, this is what I learned first as pizza. And I saw this one all the time. I saw this one, but I did this one more. And then I came to school and the kids would say, "Oh, I want pizza, pizza, pizza." And I said, "Oh, what's your favorite pizza?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "It's pizza." So I had to change my ways because these kids were having a revolt because I kept saying pizza and not pizza. Like, I mean, that's a big deal to them. So pizza. All right. The next one is salad. So salad is going to be these open 5s. And I always think about like when you go to Olive Garden and you get a tossed, like they used to toss the salad in front of you, you're going to do salad. So it's like the tongs tossing the salad. And I'm going to go slow, but you can see like I actually like cross my fingers when I do it too. Salad. Salad. The next thing we have is hamburger. So hamburger is going to be hamburger. It's like you're making the patties. Hamburger. 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 Now, if you were going to be talking about a cheeseburger, you would do the sign for cheese and then the burger. So the sign for cheese is you're going to have your non-dominant palm or sideways. You're going to have your dominant right here, bent, that like slightly bent 5 again, and you're going to shake it back and forth. Cheese, cheese. So you would go cheese, burger, cheese, burger. Okay. Then we have fish. This sign for fish is for any generalized fish. This is also talking about the animal fish as well. Okay. And it's fish. It's like, oh, sorry, pointer finger, base palm, move your hand kind of back and forth. Fish, fish. And I'm like moving it forward like a fish swimming. That's the visual with it. Fish, fish. With this, if you were talking about a specific kind like tilapia, or like I lost every other kind of fish at the moment. Different types of fish that are gone from my brain. You would think
catfish.
yes, thank you. I was like tilapia, and then I went nothing else. Why did that leave me? I don't know what happened there, but yes. So if you were going to talk about the different types, like a specific kind of fish, I do recommend finger spelling, even with catfish. Do not do catfish. They will tease you for that. I will see it because they're going to be talking about you ate a cat. I can see it. I can already see it now. I recommend let's not. So you're going to finger spell, and that is going to be really for any type of specific things like that, like different kinds. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to have is spaghetti slash pasta. They do have the same sign. Okay. And it's going to be 2 pinkies, and you're going to go spaghetti. You're going to like spiral. It's like you're making the noodles. Spaghetti, pasta, pasta. Again, if you were talking specifically like having an Alfredo or anything like that, you would finger spell Alfredo. I did not spell Alfredo right. Teacher hand signs. I'm getting lazy. I need to stop it. I need to spell correctly. But yes, so you would finger spell to get specific. And I always like to say, if you're still trying to just practice getting used to it, if you have the conversation and it's like it's not that important that you need to emphasize it's Alfredo, you can still just go ahead with the sign. I always tell people, do not panic too much about having to be extra specific. If you're just having a natural conversation, oh yeah, I ate last night. You don't always have to emphasize Alfredo unless you're gonna like talk about it more, like talking about how you cooked it, things like that. Which I know I'm sure you guys are like, what are you talking about, girl? I'm not gonna explain this entire thing yet. But I always like to just say you can just go ahead with just doing this. You don't always have to worry too much about the finger spelling if it's not as important to the conversation at that time. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get into some breakfasty kind of foods. I only have like 3 really big ones. Yeah, 3 big ones for the breakfast area. Okay. The first one's going to be egg. So egg is you're going to have 2 H's. You're going to put them on top of each other and then bend them down. Egg. And it's like cracking the egg. 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 Then we have bacon. So bacon is going to have those same H's. You're now going to have them this way together, and you're going to go bacon, bouncing them up and down, like the ridges when you have bacon. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Then the next thing we have is bread. So bread is going to have your non-dominant in this B. Your dominant is going to come by kind of bent like this, and it's going to pretend to slice bread. 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 Okay, let's pause there, go back through those, and then I'm gonna try to quickly go through some of these other big ones, and then we're gonna try to get to our animals. Okay, so we had pizza, pizza, or pizza, whichever way, pizza, pizza. Then salad, salad. Hamburger, hamburger. Then cheeseburger, cheeseburger. Fish, 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 fish. spaghetti slash pasta. Spaghetti. Egg. Egg. Bacon. Bacon. And then bread. 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 Okay. All right. I know we're going kind of fast. I'm trying to, let's keep it, I think, but we're doing good, right? Are we doing okay? Okay. I wanted to check before I was like, let's keep going. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do breakfast, lunch, the signs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But we're going to do them reverse. So we're going to start with dinner, lunch, breakfast. Okay. And the reason for that is breakfast is kind of a different one. We'll have to kind of go through. So the first one for dinner, we're going to make a D, and you're going to go dinner. You're going to tap it on your face. Dinner. Dinner. Then we have lunch. It's going to be L, and you're going to go lunch. All around the food. I mean, the mouth. All around the mouth. Now, for breakfast, the encouraged way of doing is you do morning food for breakfast, morning food. Okay. But that being said, there are some people that will do breakfast with the B. I'm going to recommend not doing that one. And the reason for that is because there are some not nice words and some not appropriate words like related with that. Because beers right here, they're very similar. And so since you are still learning ASL, I just recommend keeping up with the morning food for now. Because this is more kind of like used just to kind of keep the pace going. We use it a lot at school because our kids, that's their first instinct is to have a simpler version for breakfast instead of going morning food. But I did want to let you know in case you saw someone doing this, they might be talking about breakfast. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is our desserts real quick. And so we are going to have the sign for chocolate. So the sign for chocolate is you're going to have a fist, non-dominant fist, yeah. And then your dominant hand is going to be a C, and you're going to go in a circular motion. And you want to make sure you have it on top. Chocolate. Then we have vanilla. Vanilla is going to be the exact same way. Someone knows her chocolate and her vanilla. I just caught her doing it twice now. Just thought I'd say that. It's a V and it's on top. You were right. I just cracked up because I was like, chocolate, go slow. And she was like, all right. It's like, someone knows her chocolate and her vanilla. Vanilla. Then we have pie. So pie is going to have your non-dominant fist up. Dominant's going to be kind of in this slicing motion, and you're going to make, it's like you're making a slice, like cutting a slice of pie. 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 Then we have ice cream. So ice cream, I think you guys might have saw me do it earlier. It's ice cream. It's like the motion of eating an ice cream. Ice cream. All right. Our last dessert is cake. And so cake can have a few different ways to sign it. I've seen them kind of a bunch of different ways. The first one I'm going to do is you're going to have your non-dominant palm up, and you're going to kind of have the C motion, and you're going to go cake. Cake. It's like you're going scooping it. I did not see this one until I started working at my school. This was not the one I had used often, but that is one I've seen is cake. The other one I see is non-dominant up, and it's cake. Cake. I think this one a lot more like cupcake. This does make a look like it looks more like a cupcake. So I've started kind of being like cake and then cupcakes for both.
Yeah, it kind of looks like what I learned for a cookie, which I think was this.
Cookie is
Nice.
similar. Cookie kind of changes. That's not on our list. Sorry, I just realized like, wait, that's so I've seen cookies signed two different ways. I've seen cookie like you're cutting out a cookie cutter cookie. And then I've also seen cookie. It's like a bent C and you put it to your mouth, cookie. I actually see this one a lot more. I learned cookie and then do cookie a lot more. I've seen those both. Okay, sorry, my dog was running around in a circle, threw me off for a minute. Then what was I gonna say? Oh, also for cake. Some people do just finger spell cake because it's such a short word. Just go C-A-K-E. That is another way. Okay, let's try to finish out our food real quick here, and then we'll go back through them. The next one we have is different types of drinks. So for water, it's going to be a W, and you have it at the corner of your mouth, and you tap water, water. And this is for any types of water as well, like drinking water, ocean water, anything like that. Generic, just water, water. Then we have tea. So teas, you're going to have a C for your non-dominant, like a cup, and you're going to go tea, tea. I'm sorry, I left it really wide like this. You can leave it open or closed. I typically close mine. I don't know why. I was like, oh yeah, see. I mean, you can, but and you're gonna spin it, okay? Like you're mixing it. You don't want to dip, and the reason for that is because that is vote. So if you'd be asking, I would like a nice cup of hot vote. I think people would be really puzzled what you meant. So tea is in the circular motion. With that, you can also do sweet tea, which is the sweet tea. Sweet tea. Then we have coffee. Coffee is going to be two S's. You're going to put them on top of each other, and you're going to pretend like you're grinding the coffee beans. Coffee. Coffee. And then our last drink is soda. So soda is going to be, is basically you're making the motion of popping the tab and then you slam it down. Soda. So flick, it's like your middle finger, flick it up, pop. Soda, soda, soda.
Oh yeah, could I recommend we also learn juice?
Yes, and juice.
Juice.
No, like I said, like this list, it's very like I'm trying to shorten it up, but yeah. So juices with the J, juice, juice.
Yes. Juice.
That one I have seen also kind of change a little bit with it. Because when I was learning it, I just learned it as finger spelling only. And then coming to school, the kids were like, juice, juice, I want juice. There's also jealous near there too. It's like jealous, jealous. So juice, jealous, they're like similar, juice. Okay. So let's go back through our spelling words. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm sorry. I went back to my morning spelling class this morning. That just happened. Let's go back through our signs that we had here, and then we'll move on to the animals, okay? So we had our dinner, 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 dinner. Then we had lunch, 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 breakfast, morning food. And you can make a very smooth motion, like you just go up into your mouth. Morning food. Then we had our chocolate, chocolate. Then vanilla, vanilla. Then we had our pie, pie, pie. Our ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. And then our cake. Cake here, cake, or cake with the finger spelling. Oh, and then cookie. I almost was just ready to move ahead. Cookie, cookie, or cookie, cookie. Okay, then we had our water, water. Then we had our tea, tea. Our sweet tea, which is very important because we are in the South. I had to add that little thing in there. And then our coffee, coffee. And then our juice, 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 juice. Okay. Are we good to move on to our animals? Is everyone feeling okay? Feeling good? I know it's a lot. Oh my gosh, thank you, soda. Soda. I was like, what is Emily doing? Emily, I see that face. She's not ready. Soda. I'm slamming that. Soda. Soda. Thank you. Soda. Yeah, you're flicking the tab and popping it. That one also, I was gonna say with like if you're talking about not talking about a specific kind of soda like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Sprite, whichever, you do finger spell. Okay. let's move on to some animals here real quick. All right. So the first sign we're going to do is the sign for animal. So the sign for animal it's like when we did our house. So you're going to have your hands that bent on top of your armpits and you're going to bounce it kind of like thinking flapping your wings like a bird. Animal. Animal. Okay? Then we have the sign for pet. The sign for pet is going to be a non-dominant fist and you're going to pet the back of it. Pet. Pet. This is for any kind. So like meaning, oh, I have like 5 pets. How many pets you have? I want to pet the dog, that kind of thing. That one doesn't really change over just because of it being a noun versus verb. Okay. So the first one we're going to do is the sign for dog. So for dog, there are kind of 2 ways to do it. One is more of the longer way, I guess you would say, and one is the more shorthand way that I've seen sometimes used. So the sign for dog is you pat your leg and end in a snap. Dog, dog, dog. Excuse me, dog. But I do see some people will do dog. It's the middle finger bouncing on the thumb. Dog, dog. It's like snapping your fingers really, really fast. Dog. I have seen that. It kind of, like I said, it's like kind of the shortened version. So like dog versus dog. Okay. Then we have cat. So cat is going to be, yeah, cat. Cat. We did that with black cat for Halloween. I was like, why do I feel like we've done cat before? It was really bothering me here, guys. Okay. It was like, it was haunting me. It's like, why do I feel like we've done cat before? Halloween. Okay. There we go. I'm back on here. Okay. Then we already did our fish. So I'm going to skip that one because that was the same as our food. Bird is going to be, it's going to be like the number 20 on your nose. Bird. It's like the beak. Bird. Bird. That is also the sign for chicken, like food-wise chicken. I realized we didn't do that one earlier. Chicken. It is used for both. Again, context clues, very important. Pet chicken, food chicken. There's a difference. The next one is going to be this, would be the sign for snake. So snake is going to be a V. You're going to bend it and you're going to have it at the front of your mouth and you go snake, snake. So it's like the forked tongue and then slithering. Snake. Snake. Then we'll do bug and then we'll go, actually no, before we do bug, let's go back through these. Okay, so we had animal, animal, animal. Then we had pet, pet, dog, or dog. Cat, cat, bird, bird, and then snake, snake, snake. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is the reason I held was because these 3 kind of go together because they're all insects. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna hold these 3. So the generalized sign for bug is gonna be a 3. You're gonna put the thumb on your nose and you're gonna go bug, 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 bug. There are some more, I guess, like, see, I don't see often a lot of different signs for like mosquitoes, cockroaches, all the different types of bugs until I started working in a school and I saw a little bit here and there. So I generally use the sign for bug for just as all. And then if I have to be specific, I finger spell. Not saying that like, oh, I just didn't learn them. It's just, I think it depends and varies. Okay, I get that, girl. Like, I mean, kid, bug, like they're very similar. They're right around the nose and right up above. Yeah, very easy to do. But I just typically will do the generalized for bug versus being like mosquito because mosquito is like similar to coffee. And then because it's like on your nose, like mosquito, and then what was it? Cockroaches. Is someone like with the antennas? I don't know. Maybe it's just me who doesn't like bugs and it grosses me out to do like I'm like, nope, thank you. I just do bug. So, They do kind of vary. It kind of depends on the person you talk to. They may have a sign they use for it. But I've not seen as much as like, oh, we all must do mosquito. I've seen them just be finger spelled a lot too. So, but I have seen bee used often. So bee, I have seen it have its own. It's going to be bee. It's like you're pulling this, like pinching this finger and then smacking it. Bee, bee, bee. That does go kind of apply with, I do like if I see it, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, bug, bee, bee. So still using the word like bug and then bee. Okay, and then our spider, which we did for Halloween, spider, spider. Okay, the next one we have is rat slash mouse. They are the same sign. It's going to be a pointer finger and you brush it across your nose, mouse or rat, mouse, rat, whichever. Now, if you were talking about Mickey Mouse, I recommend not finger spelling Mickey and then doing mouse. Mickey Mouse has his own sign, and it is Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. It's like the little ears. Yep. This is also for Disney. Mickey, Disney, all of them. It's kind of under that umbrella because you can have Disney World. And world is two W's and you have one. It's like year. Year. So Disney World. I know that is not related to animals or food, but I feel it is an important one to know.
The indignity.
Okay, that got me. I love it. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right. There are certain signs, there are certain words that just don't have signs, and then there's things like that where they have to have their own. Because Mickey, most people love Mickey. Most people love Mickey, but maybe not as many people love tomatoes. But I do feel like I'm in a preferred, everyone likes tomatoes, but like me, and I'm like, oh, maybe I am just kind of the only one who's like, I don't care. And everyone's like, so okay. Our next one we have is turtle. So turtle is going to be, you're gonna have a thumbs up, and your non-dominant hand is gonna kind of have a cusp like a C, and you're gonna come behind it and put it on top. Sorry, my dog just tried to jump in my lap. So turtle, and then you move your thumb like it's the head. Turtle, turtle. I'm obsessed with this sign. It's one of my favorite signs of all time. I think it's just the cutest little thing in the world. So I'm totally biased. Turtle. Now sea turtle does have its own sign though, too. So sea turtles, you're gonna have two open, they're open bees. You're gonna put them on top and then you go sea turtle, like you move your arms. Or your arms, your thumbs. Your thumbs are the motion of the arms. Guys, I told you. Just assume teacher brain is really bad right now. It's the week before Thanksgiving. Sea turtle. Oh, okay. Well, she's here. Sorry about that. So our next one is going to be tiger. So tiger is going to be these open fives, and you go tiger, tiger, and it's like this representing the stripes. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Okay. Then we have lion. Lion's gonna be again that open, wide C kind of shape. You're gonna start at the top of your head and go lion. Lion. I'm gonna lean back a little. Lion. And it's representing the mane. Lion. Lion. Okay. Then we have bear. So bear is gonna be two fives, and you're gonna go bear. Bear. So it's like I'm brushing on my finger, my shoulders, and pulling up. Bear. 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 Okay, let's pause there, go back through those. So we had our bug, bug, bug. Then we had our bee, bee, bee. Then we had our mouse. I know we did spider, but we did that one before, so that's why I skipped it. Mouse, mouse. We had our Mickey Mouse, Mickey. And then our Disney World, Disney World. Thought we should add those. We had turtle, turtle, turtle. Then sea turtle, sea turtle. Tiger, 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 lion, 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 and then bear, bear. Okay, let's see if how many more we can get in the next 7 minutes. All right, the next one we have is cow. So cow is going to be 2 Y's. You're going to put your thumbs on the side of your head and go cow, cow, cow. My maybe hair's catching on it, cow. A lot of times this is one where like we did that when I said like good morning when it's really big and you have all that motion and there's the simple one. A lot of people just do one hand for cow, cow. But it's really cow, but cow works too. Cow. Okay. Then we have horse. Horse is going to have 2 3s. Put your fingers together. Put it on the side of your head and go horse. Horse. And it's like the ears. Horse. Horse. And this is another one where one hand motion kind of comes into horse. All right. Our next one is monkey. So monkey is literally what you think it is. It's monkey. That one I think has transcended everywhere. It's everywhere. Monkey. Okay. Then we have, where's my list? I lost it. There we go. Elephant, or no, giraffe. Sorry, there it is. Giraffe. So giraffe is you're gonna kind of have your chin kind of going up. You have this open C, start at the base of your neck and pull up. Giraffe. 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 Then we have elephant. Elephant is going to start like with your note back of your hand and you're going to go elephant. Elephant. So it's like the trunk. Elephant. Elephant. Okay. Then we have pig. So pig is you're going to have, ooh, cannot talk. You're going to put your hand under your chin and you're going to go pig. 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 This is also, I just thought I would add this here. Miss Katie hates when I do this, but I'm gonna do it. That this is also the sign for like pork. When you're talking about kind of foods that it is. Yeah, pork.
I know about chickens and cows and pigs. I know.
It cracked me up the first time we ever had this class, and I was like, yeah, pig. If you're talking about the type of meat and you go pig, like for pig or pork, she's like, you use the same for the animal and the food. And I was like, yeah. It horrified her. So that's always what I think about whenever we talk about like the different types of meats. So.
It's honest. It's honest. You know, it's fine.
All right. So then we have frog / toad. They do have the same sign. My dog is in the way. Very similar to pig, but you're gonna have like kind of the 2 fingers. You're gonna go under your hand. Okay, perfect. I was like, she's normally one who doesn't miss often, so I wanted to check. Okay, good. Frog. It's like you're flicking the 2 fingers out. Frog. 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 I'm trying not to flick her ears, but she's got really big ears, so they're just in the way. Frog. Okay. Then we have alligator. Alligator is going to be exactly what you think. Alligator. 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 Similar for crocodile. I would recommend if you were talking about a crocodile and you wanted to be specific, doing that motion for alligator and then going croc, like finger spelling croc. All right. Our last few we have is penguin. Excuse me. Well, I can't really do it because she's sitting in my lap. It's you're having your hands kind of pointing out like this, but they're down and you waddle. Penguin. I know this is a very fun one because you can't see what I'm doing, but someone decided she has to sit in my lap right now.
Look, Henry saw me doing that. He goes, "Is that penguin?" Like, yeah, I am great.
Perfect. But yes, our little penguin. Then we have duck. So duck is similar to chicken, but it's 2 fingers. Duck. 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 Then we have butterfly. Butterfly is going to be 2 hands like this. You're going to put your thumbs together and go butterfly. 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 Okay. And then we have wolf, which we did with werewolf because we did wolfman. So wolf, wolf. I just want to do a quick review of that. Then we have deer. Deer is going to be 2 5s. You're going to go here. Deer, deer. Then fox. It's going to be an F. You're going to put your nose here and go fox. Fox. And then we're going to stop there with all these words. I'm going to add a few little description words. So we have, if you're talking about going to the zoo, zoo is finger spelled Z-O-O. So that's just an easy one. If you were going to talk about a baby animal, here's the nice thing with that. All you do is you just do dog, puppy. You just add the sign for baby afterwards. So you don't have to worry about like anything like there's a different word for puppy, things like that. Most often it is just the baby sign for it, baby added afterwards. I have seen kitten with the K, kitten, but also going cat, baby is still the same thing. Okay. I wanted to add here real quick, like and don't like real quick. I don't think we've done those, right? Like, don't like, maybe we have.
We talked about maybe not last week, but the week before.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
I was looking, I was like, oh, I want to add those. I think that's important. But we're good. And so I was gonna say that's when you can say you don't like a food or something like that.
I
But
think we did it at the beginning, because I remember after I learned it, I told my friend like, I don't like that. And they were like, what? I was like, I was trying to practice. And so I was just like, or if I was like, no, or yes, or, whatever we had learned that first night. And they were like, oh boy, is this going to be like for the next month? I'm like, yes, it is. Because I got to practice.
yes, no, I literally do it all the time. I kid you not. I do it at home all the time with my parents and like my siblings. It's gotten to a point they're just used to it by now because I just myself. Ah, perfect. Okay. Last sign I'm going to give you guys because I know I've given you a lot is the sign for favorite. Okay. So favorite's going to be your middle finger and it's going to be tap on your chin. Favorite. Favorite. So that way you could say like my favorite food, blah, 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 blah. My favorite animal, blah, 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 blah. That kind of thing. So favorite animal. I know I'm doing one hand. I need to not do that, but someone's here. So favorite. Favorite. This is also taste, which is interesting. It's just one motion versus like favorite, taste, favorite. So, okay. Are there
Forget,
any?
is color, I think it was this color. Color, so favorite color. Yeah.
Favorite color. Yep. Very close to each other. Okay. Does anyone have any quick questions before we go? I know we have thrown a lot of words at you guys tonight. I'm sure you're sitting there going, I don't know if I have a question because I have 100 words that just came to my brain here.
Okay,
but
let me just confirm. Favorite is taste, but one.
yes. So
Okay.
taste is like one time because like you're trying it out, tasting it, and then favorite. Favorite. Any questions you guys have? Okay.
Oh, I've got one question. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Is it okay to say love and then like an object or a food? Because I don't know where this came from, but I heard that you're only supposed to do love with a person.
So
I heard that
yes.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yes. So this love is talking about the actual like loving of like another person. If you're talking about like, oh, you love that food, you love it. There is what's called, it's a sign that's not really an actual, like there's not an English word for it per se. It's called a kiss fist. Okay. That's basically what it translates to. And it is kiss fist. Like you literally kiss the back of your fist, like, oh, I love that. Like it's just delicious. It's amazing. Like if you're like talking about like soccer, I love soccer, that kind of motion for love. That's what you typically do for if you're talking about something you love that's not a person. I always kind of recommend if you do love, this is for like I use it for like romantic love. Like that's like someone like my special person, blah, blah, blah. But I'm talking about like, oh, love you, kind of like the generalized, like, like you say to your friends, like, I love you, that the I love you sign is that one. Love you. But if I'm talking about like someone like I seriously love you, like I'd be love, love. But yes, that's a good question. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions you guys have? All right. So next Tuesday is our last class. Which I know it's going to be a hodgepodge class, kind of like this with the different topics. So I definitely recommend think of any other signs you guys are curious about, and they don't have to be related to the topics. It can be, I mean, if you're like, well, I work here and I use these a lot, what would be signs for that? Bring them to next or hold it basically till next class, and we can go through those as well.
Okay, the one last thing I wanted to say before we go is because I'm probably gonna forget this next week. If y'all want to come back and take another class, just email me. Like Drew, it's gotten to where I just like send him an email and add him to the class because he'll just sit in. Like if you want to come back at any other class, whether for the whole thing or if you're like, hey, I want to do the food thing again or whatever, you're welcome to come. It's just, you've already done it once. It's fine. We're happy for you to come back. So, that's at any time too. So, it doesn't have to be for the next one, but, I will just take you off the list, off the registration list on the website, but put you on the mailing list. Make sense?
Yeah, because like there have been times where because not every class is always going to be exactly the same. So there's always going to be a few words here and there get added, and you still have access to the YouTube videos too. So you can always like, because I know Miss Katie will add like kind of a list of the words and like kind of the timestamp them. Um, you can always look to see if hey, is there any new words that I haven't seen before to kind of look and use that as a resource as well. So yeah. But okay. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of y'all's week. I will see you guys all next Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.